How's it going, internets? I hope you're having a lovely day. It's that time again. It's time to get into some animation. Time to get that imagination all cranked up, get into some creativity, and it's time to get inspired. And today's inspiration comes from Jason Chan. And if you're not familiar with his work, check right over here. He is a beautiful illustrator and painter and digital artist and just an extraordinary talent. And you should definitely check out his work. I really love his color choices are always spot on, and he has a really playful way that he brings his characters to life that has a little bit of a mix of kind of a hint of an anime feel behind it, but just a beautiful, beautiful work, and everything's just really clean and really reads very well in all of his pieces, and he's got a great sense of layout and composition. And this one's the piece that I personally love the most of the stuff that I was able to find the other night when I was researching him. And I thought this one was great because it really focuses, the whole piece just kind of complements everything together. You've got your main focal points here, everything else is a lot more muted. You've got this really intense gaze between the two that's really powerful. You've got the wings of this creature that lead the eye up into the important parts throughout the whole thing. Also, the arc in the back here is playing well into there, and the horns, they lead back in here, and the body, the posing, just leads throughout. It's just a great composition overall, and a really interesting one as well. But I did want to share a quote with you guys from him, and that was, my personal work is usually jump-started by something, either an emotion or an idea, but I tend to play it up beyond what I really feel for a stronger effect. Sometimes the emotion in my work is not really something I'm feeling, but just something I want the viewer to feel. And I thought that was an interesting thing that we haven't really discussed here, and that was thinking about your audience and what you want them to take away, and how you can infuse feelings and emotions and ideas into your work, so that hopefully the audience will come, whoever it is, or whoever is listening to you or watching your work or looking at it or whatever, can come away with a certain, they're left with a certain sense of hopefully at least thinking about whatever you did after it's done. And I thought that was really interesting, and I liked the way that he phrased that. But I'm really excited today to share with you Claire Swift, one of our fellow animation timers, sent me a rig that she's working on. I believe it's she. Let me know, comments below. And it's really cute. It's a Rupert rig. It's a little bunny rig. I'm not sure if they've released it yet, but I will link to their YouTube channel, and feel free to, I'm sure I'll be excited to hear if you guys want to play around with this rig as well, hopefully. I'll have to see from her. But it's really cute. I really like the style. I think it's does that a really nice, almost probably like a 40s kind of cartoon feel to this character. And I really like it, so I'm really excited to play around with it. If you guys aren't familiar with what we do here, for the rest of the video we give ourselves 48 frames. I go off and I usually find a rig that is a free resource for you guys to play around with. Today is a special case because we get to try out this new, fun, exciting, beautiful rig from Claire, one of our awesome animation timers here. And we kind of go from there, a little bit of over the shoulder, hang out with me while I animate, a little bit of talking through the process, and most of all, hopefully the goal of doing these videos is to hopefully encourage you guys and inspire you to go off and create something uniquely you, using your imagination and your creativity. And so let's go ahead and get started. I had a lot of different ideas that I wanted to do for this rig, but I think I'm going to just stick with a walk for today. I was thinking about doing a little bit of kind of almost a Alice in Wonderland rabbit run. That would be kind of fun. But I think I'm going to try, and we'll see how this works, but do a little bit of a hop walk, and we'll see if we can get that working. I thought that would be kind of fun, and something that would be fairly easy to kind of test out this rig with. So let's go ahead and start by turning everything off except for our NURB curves, our NURB surfaces, and our polygons. And if you notice, today we are using Maya 2015 for this rig, and just from what I was tinkering around with it seems like that's going to be the best version. I didn't try it with 2016, but that might be another option here as well. So let's start by trying to create a nice storytelling pose here. As you can tell, I'm really excited to play around with this rig. And were really great and emailed me a bunch of positivity, so I just want to say thank you especially to Claire Swift, and send you over to their channel as well, because that's what a big point of doing these videos. You notice Fused Gore, another person who is here on YouTube, started doing some wonderful tutorials. Definitely check out their channel as well. And there's just some wonderful people here on YouTube that are offering some really amazing things for free for our little indie animation community out there. And so I really want to help promote them and share their wonderful things whenever I can with you guys here as well. So huge shout out to them. And again, all of try to, in the information below, have a link to some of our wonderful, let's see, how do they set up the, okay, seeing how they set up their fingers here. Hands are always fun to check out with any rig, because usually they're very different. Each rigger has their own style of how they do fingers. Alright, and let's do like a loose clenched fist here. Like I said, would probably be a little bit faster of a walk, kind of with a little bit of a hop into it if we can infuse that in there. I thought that would be kind of fun. Since it is a rabbit or bunny type character, I thought it would be fun to have a little bit of an extra bounce in there. And let's do that. And I do apologize, getting in the middle of kind of a rainy season here, so you might hear some extra loud rain going on today. But maybe I'll just add to the ambiance of the video here. And let's go ahead and play around with this one. I'm so excited to use this rig. It's an awesome rig. I really have been thinking about what I wanted to do with this one for about a week or so, trying to decide what. So thanks again to Claire and her amazing rigging talents. I'm always impressed by anyone who can make good rigs. It's a skill that I have not perfected yet myself, so I'm always grateful and impressed, and try to help out the rigging community and promote them as much as I can, because free rig resources are just phenomenal to anyone out there who wants to learn or grow as an animator. So to all of you riggers out there, I love ya. And to all you animators as well. Pretty much anyone who, all of these animation timers. Yes, okay, let's pinch in that index finger a little bit more. And let's go a little bit of kick up there. Let's bring that back here. Keep thinking that it's going to be rotate Y, but it's rotate X on there, which is okay. And let's bring that down a little bit more. Rotate it down that way. And let's see how the spine's set up. I think I'm just going to use the yellow cogs for the spine here. We'll see. No, I'm going to go here. Rotate them to kind of puff out that chest a little bit more. And let's rotate the head down a little bit. Oh, the tie goes off of that, so I gotta be aware of that. So let's offset the tie here a little bit. Okay. Just want to get a little bit of that head tilt in there, and then rotate it up a little bit more. I want it down a little more on the neck here. Maybe not. Maybe go other way. Give him a little bit better posture. And losing a little bit of the tie here, but that's okay. Go ahead and scale it back a little bit more. Try and keep it within range while we're setting this up. Okay, now let's look at the foot roll here. Let's try to perk these feet up to start with, so we don't keep them completely planted down here. Just throughout here. And just a little bit there as well, and then arc it a little bit more. There's a lot of controllers on this rig, and I love that. It really lets us get in there and manipulate stuff for sure in the way that we want it. Animators, from at least in my personal opinion, love extra controllers. If you can throw an extra controller out there on it, it's definitely gonna help me out for a lot of stuff, because I want to get in there and get the exact kind of posing that I want to get. So the more controllers is always a better for my experiences. Although you have to be aware of, you might lose some of those ears there, but I think I want to go ahead and keep it how it is, and then we'll just do it later. Alright, now let's look at the nose. Push that up a little bit. Just do stuff so it's just not the stock posing that we're getting here. And rotate the mouth up a little bit. Show those teeth off a little more. It's a really cute rig. Really cute rig. And another thing I want to do is switch the foot positions. Wait, no. We'll keep them like that. That arm's swinging back and that one's forward. Okay. So let's start off with something like that. Let's go ahead and save our file. Again, we are using Maya 2015 for today's video. For more information on that, definitely check out the links in the description below. And let's go ahead and set our frame range. We're going to go from 0 to 48. We're just going to do a cycle for today. We'll grab everything, make sure we just have our NURB curves, NURB surfaces, and polygons selected. And we'll go to frame 0 and we'll set our first key. Alright, now let's start working. I think I want to stick with, might come to bite me in the butt later, but I think I want to stick with working on 10s instead of 12s to make this a little bit faster. Flop these keys back and forth because we're just doing a cycle. And one of the big important things we want to do here is get our feet and our hips nailed in. And then once we've got that, then we can start to play around a little bit more. Set that, delete this one, put that forward, every other one here. Now let's see. We're gonna have to go 60. Yeah, we're gonna have to go 60 frames. 60 or 40, we gotta decide, but let's go 60. Just so we can get it to cycle correctly. But this way we can get a little more speed in there. Okay, let's go ahead and get the hips there. Yeah, let's go down here. And up there. And down here. Up there. Down. Up. And down. Up. Get that kind of start building some weight into this walk here. We're going to have to definitely clean this up a lot as well. And we're going to go copy our original first frame so that we can cycle back in. Okay, so let's go Window, Animation Editors, Graph Editor, and let's look at our Translate Ys. We want to clean that up. That's not very well done there. Okay. You're getting a little bit of lag here, so apologies about that. Let's adjust it there. Bring that back down here. And bring that up, just so it's a little more even throughout here. We might end up having to do some of that play blasting a little more for this video since we're getting a little bit of lag here. That's alright. It's a very cute rig. I like the aesthetics on this one. Okay, let's go and watch it now. Okay, we're not really getting every frame in there, so play blast to really view it, but for right now it's feeling okay. We could probably do a little more down, just to accentuate it a little bit more. Okay, and let's go ahead and get those passing positions locked in. So let's go through and just rekey all those main steps that we have so far. And then go ahead and lift it up here, and drop it down, and lift it up here, and plant it down, and lift it up here, plant it down, there, okay. And again, we just want to go in and rekey all these main steps again. Now with the hop, we want to try and get at least 1 or 2 frames where both feet are in the air to really sell it. So we'll have to figure out how we want to do that, but we'll just kind of treat it like a typical walk for now. Let's go ahead and see that now. Okay, let's just do a quick play blast and see how we're looking. So once. Okay, we're still getting a little bit of lag while we're doing this, but it's feeling alright. Okay, so let's go ahead and start building in those passing positions here. Get our weight shifted over that foot, and then over that one, and over that one, and then over that one, this one, just so we can get those weight shifts built in there, there, and zero it up. And let's look at our translate X here. Bring that over. I'll bring these guys back to about here, just so it's fairly even from side to side here. I think what we're going to need to do, let's just keep working this way, and then we'll see if we want to tweak up the posing a little bit more here. So let's tilt the hips in to favor the front planted foot, and back here, and back there, back this way, and back that way, and go again, and let's even that up. Let's look at the rotate Y's. Bring that scale back to a little bit less here. Bring that back up. And bring that back up. Both feet are down here. How do I want to approach that? Guess we could go at 8 and lift the foot up here at 8. Yeah, let's keep working on all this stuff. Just trying to think of how I'm going to get that little bounce in there, and what frame I'm going to put it on. And let's go ahead and tilt the hips there a little bit, and there a little bit, on the other way, and then back, there, back there, and insert out, and let's clean that up. those two. Bring this one here. Bring that down. Then we'll offset this stuff in the chest here. We'll do the arms, and then we'll come back to the feet. That way we get a good plan of action of how we're going to approach this, the rest of this. Alright, now let's go ahead and grab the chest. Tie is going to be fun to animate there too. Alright, and go add, actually let's start here, give ourselves a little bit of twist, so we'll do the rotate. It's going to be Y or is it going to be Z? No, it's going to be Y. Okay. Give ourselves a little bit of twist forward there. We're going to have to be careful about the head and counter it, and then make the head for sure, because it's going to feels very dependent on the chest there. So we're going to have to counter animate that. And bring that back. And let's clean this up a little bit more, so it's fairly even on both sides. And then let's get some rotate Z in there. And then back that way. And again, because the head's so big aesthetically, which I like, we have to be very careful to go back and counter animate the head after this, otherwise this is going to feel very, it's not going to work very well, so gotta be careful about that. And let's look at just the rotate Z's and try and even those out a little bit more and kind of scale them back a little bit. Look at the neck here. So we want to tilt it so it's focused forward. And bring it forward again. Forward again there. There. And then back again. And let's also clean this up. Make sure we're kind of hitting evenly on both sides. Let's look at the rotate Z here. Just want to keep it a little more toned down by offsetting it from the movement that we built into the chest and the hips so far. Then go back to 0. Okay, and let's look at the rotate Z there. And again, let's skip back a little bit more and even it out as well. Alright, now let's do a quick play blast and see how we're looking. Okay, a little too much side to side and probably a little too much twist for right now. The other thing we could do is just amp up the up and down, because that's really what I want to play up. So we'll keep tweaking it. It's coming along. So let's do more up and down. And take up translate X and we'll scale that back. And we'll scale the rotate back. Everything just felt a little too much twist and sway and all that stuff. We just want a little bit to feel it. We don't necessarily need to see it. We really want to feel the up and down. And let's look at the rotate Z. Scale that back again. And again, we want to keep it fairly even. I feel like we have a fairly balanced amount throughout, so we got to try and keep that still working in our favor. We are still just going to scale everything back a little bit more. job evening that out the first time. It doesn't have to be perfectly even, but we want a basic system we can work with. Okay, let's kind of leaf through here, see how it feels. And probably too much rotate on the head now. So let's scale that back. Scale that back. Okay, well, let's do another play blast and see if that looks better. Alright, that feels a little better. Still gotta get those arms working, and then we'll come back and approach the feet again. So let's get those arms working for us. Let's go ahead and save our file while we're at it. And here we go. So let's rotate that one forward there, and then back here, forward there, and back here, and forward there, and then back to the original. Okay, and let's look at the other side. And go back there, forward there, back there, and forward, back, and back to where we started. Okay, and let's look at the elbows here. Let's go a little bit of drag there, drag back there, up here. I'm not going to do a whole lot on here, but I want to try and loosen them up a little bit. We'll go back again, and let's make sure that feels fairly even. Okay, and let's look at the wrist. Rotate that up. And we'll drag it back down there. Up there. And drag it back down again. Up here. Down there. And I'll go again. Okay, and let's make sure we kind of did a fairly decent job cleaning that up. And let's look at the other side here. Okay. We'll do a little bit of drag there, and a little bit of forward here, right? Drag it up and pull it in. And drag it up. And bring it back. Up and back. And loop around again. Okay. And let's clean that up a little more. And let's look at the wrist. And we're going to drag that back here, forward there, and back there, and forward there, and back there, forward there, and loop it back. Again, try to clean it up a little more. Alright, let's do another play blast and check this out again. Alright, it's starting to come together now. Now let's try and see if we can't, let's go ahead and save our file. Now I'm going to play around with the feet. This might not work, and maybe we'll just go back, but I think we can get it to work. So let's see. I want to get that one frame where this foot, let's take our 10 and move it back to 8. Take our 30 and move it to 28. Take our 50 and we'll move it to 48. So we can really get that in there. So I'll take our 20 and we'll move it. It's just how are we going to loop it? It's going to be interesting. We'll have to kind of go off of really formulaic and try and just build something different, which is okay. So take 18 and move it there, like that, move it there, right? Is that going to be it? Then we take our 20 and we move it to 0. That's what we want. And then that one goes back to the edge, so we get that little bit of lift up. Okay, so let's see. So that way we try and get that little bit of up. Now it doesn't feel like it's back far enough though. So let's see. Let's go ahead and do a play blast and see if that even is starting to work or if we need to retweak it. Okay, here. Alright, it just isn't feeling right there. So I think what I need to do is start off at kind of like the passing position on the feet a little more instead. So let's try that. Let's see how that works. So I'll take this foot, kick it up, and we'll rotate it back a little bit. And keep the beginning. Then at 20, we want this to be there. And at 40, we want that to be there. And at 60, we want that to be there. Okay, and let's try doing that this way here. So 10, want it to be up here, back. And that's going to be 30, 50, 60, right? No. Okay. So we do get that little bit of kick off. I think in order to do that, we're going to have to push the hips just a little bit forward here. Just a little bit. Just to keep our balance a little more. Okay. And then we'll have to worry about this leg stretch here. Let's instead. Guess we could do some toe raise and some toe roll. Rotate. Try and get something like this, but we gotta clear the ground here, so maybe we could even rotate it out over. And rotate up a little bit more. Okay, so we go something like that into there. And then this is our new 20, and our new 40, and our new 60, right? Now we gotta still clean it up because the getting into there isn't quite right yet and flicks too much. And let's look at this guy. This is going to be our 10. So we want to, what do we do with the other one? Rotate it out a little bit, back, over there. I did a little bit of toe roll, toe raise, bring it over, up, out, and back. Let's see how that compares to this side. I think we had it about right there. So this needs to go back further. Okay. So set that, make that our new 30 and our new 50. Let's see how that feels. Alright, we still got some work to do there, but I think it'll work here. It does feel a little more dragged back, so maybe we'll do a little less flick there. Let's see. Alright, let's do a quick play blast and just see how that feels actually going at speed. Alright, the back foot feels okay, but this one definitely feels too much of a flick, so I don't know if that's something that we're going to need an extra frame to get into, or what, so let's see. So let's try, instead of it being at 8, that it's here, key 7, and then give us 3 frames to get into there, so that'll give us an extra frame buffer there, so I'll key that one, delete that, so we get 3 frames to get into there, and we still gotta vary up our timing and everything on the toe. Let's start there. Okay. So we're just gonna go at 37, so it gives us the extra frame buffer, so hopefully that'll help soften everything a little bit more. Let's see. Now we're gonna need to, at, what's this, 5, gonna need to rotate that foot, I think, out a little bit more in Z. Oh, I gotta do something so that we, let's see. Toe twist. Now let's do heel twist. So we can get that foot up off the ground. No, because then the ankle looks too broken. Okay. let's just delete it and see what we have in the middle. And do foot roll up and rotate. No. And toe roll down. This is what would be better to do if we can get it, and raise it up even higher. See, we lose that knee. So let's leave it there. Guess we could do something like that. Ankle just feels so broken there. So we need to do something like that almost, and raise it up a little bit more. And then we'd have to rotate that up there. Okay, I think that'll work. Okay, so I'll have to pretty much copy this to there and this to there, right? And then 8 to 28 and 28 to 48. Let's see. Alright, now let's try and see what we can figure out for this foot here. Still a little broken, but we'll figure it out. We'll make it work. So 15, again, we want to go out and over, back, just trying to clear the ground plane with such big feet. And that feels broken, so we'll tilt it, go up, and raise it up a little higher, bring it back a little more. And at 18, we want to lift it up, and rotate it up. Maybe like that. Let's compare that one to that one. Probably be open a little more to cam. Okay, and let's take 15 and that's 35 and 55. Okay, starting to work now. 18, put that 38 and 58. And let's see it now. It's more just a little bit of a run now, I guess, but I'm slowed it down so it'll be more walk speed, but and let's look at the translate Y here. I think we want to do this about 2 frames later. So let's see. And that would mean that we want to go at 2 and do translate Y here. Bring that up to the extreme there. And So let's go ahead and play blast this and see how we're looking. Okay. This foot in particular definitely feels like it's slapping back, so maybe some overlap in the toe will help us, because it just feels like it almost hits a wall back and we want it to extend a little bit further. So let's see if we can't clean that up. That's the biggest thing that's shown to me. I think the time's enough, but it shouldn't hit, almost like hit and stay there. It's such a big move between 9 and 10, and then 10 to 11 is like nothing. It'd almost be better if we could go one frame later, but I don't think we have that luxury, so I guess we could go at 12 and do toe roll back there. That would at least give us something. And then at 18 we can lift the toes. It's a little too broken. Let's go 19, we'll lift the toes up, and 21 and we'll plant them down. So let's see how that feels. Toe rolls at 0. We can still go like this at 10. And then go after. Alright, that might work. So then we go 30, and we kind of have the toe still going up. 32, that way we still get some change of shape and doesn't feel like it just slams into there. And then 39, we'll go ahead and lift that up. And 41, and we'll zero it out. I think I wanted one more frame there. Okay. Yeah, let's look at the last one and see how that feels. See if this is still going to help us a little bit more. So we lift that forward and go 2 frames later and have it kick back. Go to 59 and look up. And keep it at 0 there, but have a little bit of lift up there. Okay. Alright, so let's go ahead and see how that feels, and then if we like that, we'll go ahead and plug it on it. Actually, let's just go ahead and do it on another foot first. So we'll start here, 2 frames later, we add a little more toe roll. We go to 9, we lift it up, and then we zero it up here. And then we go back, 20, then we go this way, and then drag back. 29, we'll lift it up, and we'll zero it out there. And we'll pull that forward 2 frames, go ahead and drag it back. 49, we'll lift it up, and we'll zero it out there. And we'll go up a little bit more here, just so we can get that change of shape. Okay, now let's go ahead and clean that up in our graph editor, and that was the toe roll controller. And we don't need to do as much on here. And delete that one, that one, that one, that one. And here. Okay, so let's go ahead and play blast this guy again and see how we're looking now. Okay, well, this foot, the right foot, his right foot, feels a little better. I think we kind of overdid the toe on the left foot, so let's go ahead and go back in and clean that one up and tone it down a little bit more. So that was the toe roll here. So we don't need it to slap back that much. It's just too much. So we'll go about like that. And we don't need it to lift up too much. Just feels a little too much here. Okay. Now let's go ahead and work with some other stuff here. Let's go ahead and look at the ears. Start off on 5, so we'll go ahead and actually we'll have to do each one individually because they kind of work opposite each other. So we'll go back and forward, and this is going to be way too much, so we'll scale it back, but we'll see how it plays here. And back and forward and back and forward. So I want to do the ears, the fingers, do a little bit with the tail, and maybe like a blink or so in the eyes. We'll see. So we still have a ways to go here, but I think the crucial parts that I was thinking were going to be maybe the troublesome areas. Anytime you have a rig with really big feet and you want to do something kind of playful with it, you have to be aware that that's going to be something that you're either going to deal with a lot of broken knees or ankles, or you just have to be aware that that's going to be a thing to play with. So let's go forward here more and less back. Okay, and let's look at the other one here. Let's go a little bit more forward here. Go back. I don't want them to intersect there, so we gotta be careful of that. It's kind of funky. Go back again. See, they kind of intersect there, but hopefully when we break it up by doing the middle parts of the ear and everything, that we can avoid that a little more. Forward, back, and forward, and back, forward, back, and then back to where we started. So let's kind of leaf through that, see how it feels. Okay, and let's grab the next two portions here. And we'll go at 3, and we'll have it go forward, and then at 8, we'll go back, and at 13, we'll go forward, 18, it'll go back, and 23, it'll go forward, and 28, it'll go back, 33, forward, and 38 back, and 43 forward, and 48 back, 53 forward, and 58 back, and here again, and let's just make sure that we kind of did that. Doesn't have to be super even, but a little more so. And what we've got here, I don't think we've saved our file in a while, so let's go ahead and save real quick here. Remember, it's always good to save multiple versions and to save often. Never know what can come up. Okay, and then I want to do kind of the same thing here. And this will just help give us more of that wave or ripple movement throughout these ears, which we want here. And this is probably going to be really noticeable, so we might have to scale this back. But we'll kind of over-exaggerate and pull back if we need to. Bring it back, bring it forward, back, forward, back, and back to where we were again. Alright, so fairly even. And again, these to be too even, because then they won't feel like they're two separate ears. They'll feel just like one cog working at the same time. So it's okay to have some variety in there. And now let's take the last portions here. And we're going to go back to that original timing. And we'll go ahead and swing them back there. And then forward here. Actually, let's go the other way around. There we go. And drag that way, drag that way, drag this way, and that way. This way here, that there. This way here, that way there, this way here, and back again. Okay, and let's clean that up a little bit better. And we probably don't need as much of that as we got right now. Okay, so let's kind of leaf through there, see how it feels. I gotta be careful about the other part of the ear. There we go. And back there. Forward there. Back there. Forward there. Back there. Forward here. Back there. Forward here. Back there, forward there, and then back again. Okay, and let's clean that up a little bit more. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a play blast and see how we're liking that. Okay, again, I want to make sure I'm cranking that in the right area here. The ears feel a little over the top, so I think I'm going to actually universally pull them back more and scale the bottom parts and the middle parts down a little bit. So take right here these bottom controllers, and I want to scale them back a little bit more. And then also just minimize it a little bit more so there's not as much movement there. And the next portions, again, just want to scale them back a little bit more. And the next portion as well. Scale that back a little bit more. And one thing I do want to amp up is the tips here, so I'm just going to grab those guys and play them up a little bit more. Okay, now let's go ahead and do the tail, and then we'll do another play blast after that. So I'm going to go up here on the tail, and then go back up here, back, up, back, up, back there, up there, and back there, works opposite from the way the ears are working. Maybe we'll reverse it, but I think that's kind of what we do, just so everything's not working all at the same timing and the same way. And go back again. And we don't need a lot of this again. These are just kind of extras. We've already got the main portions of the body working. Crank that in. And bring that out. So let's start with that out a little bit more. In here, and out there, in here, out there, in here, and out there, in here, and out there, in again, and back out. Okay. So let's do another play blast, and we'll take another look at after we did some revision on those ears and see how the tail's feeling as well. Now let's kind of frame through here, see if it's going to do kind of what we want there. Okay, so let's go ahead and play blast it again. Alright, this is starting to come together now. I think we might actually go back and amp up the drag on the toe there. It feels like we cut that off a little too much, at least from this angle. So let's do some bounce in the mouth and the nose as well. And then we want to do some fingers and do something with the eyes so they feel like they're alive. And that tie too. Okay, so we still got more here. So let's just start off with let's do the fingers. And let's go ahead and index spread, middle spread, pinky spread. I'll drag them back here, except I think the pinky spread's working the opposite way here. There we go. And then at 15, we'll spread it out that way, just so we get a little bit of drag in those fingers there. And 25, drag it back, back again. It's kind of a mix of that actual spread and roll kind of a controller, so get a little bit of roll in there. Okay, I'm gonna bring that back there, that back there, this one back here, up there, and up there, and go back again. And then we'll lead with the index, push it forward a frame, and we'll delay that pinky spread one frame here as well. Okay, let's leaf through that, see if that feels alright. Okay, and let's do a little bit on the thumb here. Thumb spread, or just drag down a little bit more, up a little bit more, down, just so we get some variation in there. I'm not really worried about it too much. I'll go back again. Okay, and let's look at the other hand here. Oh, we do want to do the toe. I'm going to make sure they crank that back a little bit more there. Just on these frames here. So that's the toe raise, toe roll here. So we're just going to take this one and we're going to just crank it up just a little bit. I don't need a ton more of that, but it felt like it was flatting off, where it would feel like it almost locks into a particular frame, and we didn't want that. So let's go ahead and get these. Let's go ahead and save our file too. And do our index spread and our middle spread and pinky spread up. And then we'll drag it back here, and drag it back there, and drag it back there. Like I said, this is kind of a mix of a spread and a roll controller. It doesn't work exactly like most spreads do. that's okay. It's got the idea behind it, and that's all that matters. So I'm going to push that forward. Start dragging here, so I want to drag that middle down there. And drag that down. And then lift it up. 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 And I think I'm going to have to go back and check these because I don't know if I'm getting these exactly right while I'm putting them in right now. So let's go ahead and look at the index spread. Yeah, I thought so. And I'll tone it down. Again, this is just to give a little bit of life in the fingers. It's nothing that important. We're not doing a acting pose or anything with it, but just so that they don't walk off. Yeah, like I said, for some reason I couldn't see those very well from that perspective, so I knew they weren't keyed very well. And a pinky. Back up. And then we're going to delay that a frame as well. And then we'll look at our thumb. And we'll have our thumb kind of swing out there. Out there. In there. Out there. In. Out. And back in. Okay, then I wanted to do a little bit on the tie. I'm not going to worry too much out of it. I'm sure we've gone on probably looking at an hour and a half here, so I'm not going to do a ton of this, but we'll do a little bit. So go ahead and grab let's do the top 3 sections of the tie I really want, and I'm just going to do some side to side here. So this is going to rotate Y this way. This way and that away. I love this little tie, it's very cute. And this way and that away, and then go back again. Alright, now let's grab the next 3 sections. Actually, let's grab just the next 2 sections. No, 3. 1, 2, 3. Actually start off a little bit this way. And go that way. And drag it this way. Drag it that way. This way. That way. And then back again. Okay, and then we want to grab the last 3. And we'll give a little bit of, actually, I think we're going to go back to where we were on 5, so it'd swing out there, swing out there. I went the wrong way with the middle portions, so let's see. Swing there, swing out there, there, and then back again. Okay, so let's redo those middle sections here. And I'll bring that back down a little more. And let's start off at the top a little bit different here. Go the other way with it. And then we still wanted to do a little bit on the jaw. And is there anything else we wanted to touch with? So let's look through and see if we did that right. Yeah, it's this one. This needs to be going the other way around here. Drag back here. keep inverting this into the wrong way, so let's see. There we go. That feels like it's finally right, and then I think I want to crank it up. It doesn't feel like it's leaning enough to the other side here. Like this should be further down here. There we go. Okay. And then we wanted to do a little bit of up and down on here. And is this the jaw controller? No. What is that? It's going to be bottom jaw. There we go. And then we'll go down a little there. So we'll go up here and down, up and down, up and down there, and back up. And we'll probably need to tone this down as well, just to add a little bit of looseness there. And then we'll do a little bit on the top there as well, and then a blink, and then I think once we do those things, we'll probably be in a good spot for it. So, let's go ahead and tone this down. Even it out a little bit more. And we'll kind of leaf through there and see how it feels. And I don't like as much up, so let's actually bring that down a little more and accentuate the down and up. Okay, and let's look at the nose. And the nose I'll do at 3. What was it? Okay, I guess we just gotta use the translate. So I'll go up there, down there. And again, this is more than I want, so I'll tone it down as we go. That way we can get a little bit of looseness there. And if we were really gonna do a lot more and had another hour or so, we'd do some puff in the cheeks and everything too. But I think we're going quite long on this one, so I'm gonna wind it up here pretty quick. I'll go back again, and then I want to do a little bit in the eyes as well. And again, we just want a little bit of this. We don't need a lot, but just something so that the face doesn't feel so stiff. Get a little bit of looseness in there. Okay, and now lastly, let's look at, is there an actual eye controller? There is. There's no blink controller though. Okay, then we'll have to use these guys here. So go ahead and set that. I'll do a little bit of up or down, I guess. Let's invert it here. Just want a little bit of up. And then we'll close it. Just on Y. Most all of it's going to be from there. Then we'll do a little bit on the bottom lid here. Hold it for a little bit longer there. And we'll go up. And bring it back down again. So we get a little bit of overshoot and undershoot there. Okay, and then we'll grab all the bottom portions. And again, if we had another hour or so to play around with this thing, we'd definitely tighten it up a little bit more, but we'll just go with what we got for right now. So I think it was about 13 was that, so overshoot up a little bit. always nice when they give you these extra controllers. So you can really sculpt that eyelid closed a little bit more. Okay. You're gonna let me grab this controller or what? Here we go. I want to set that. Keep that for a little bit. We'll go here, about 22. Bring that there. And kind of ease back in, just so we get a little bit of a blink in those eyes. And let's see how it feels. Okay, that works. We're getting a little bit of movement towards the end, just so they don't feel totally stiff there. Alright, so let's do another play blast here. This one. Alright, it's working pretty well. I think I could probably do a little more bounce in the head and a little bit of bounce in the tie as well for up and down. We've got the side to side. So let's go ahead and do that, and then we'll probably call it. So let's go ahead and go 3. We'll do a little bit of rotate up, 8, and then down. And I don't need a lot of this, so I'll probably tone this down as well. But it was just feeling a little too stiff. Bring that up. I really like this rig. I think it's a great rig. So, huge shout out to Claire Swift. And again, I will have a link to the YouTube channel down below if you guys want to check out more of their stuff. And again, we're just going to kind of even this out and minimize it a little bit more as well. Because like I said, we didn't need a lot of this. It was already kind of working before, but a little bit of it would help loosen up that head a little bit more. So let's kind of leaf through there. Okay, and then I also wanted to do just a little bit of bounce in the tie. We could probably break that up even more too, but I think I'll probably just leave it like this for now. I'll go back again. Okay. And let's scale that back and even it out a little bit more. So let's just look at the rotate Z's here. let's do another playlist and let's see how that looks. Alright, and you see we added a little bit of bounce to the head, gave it a little more life there. We added that little bit of flop in the tie. I think that helped play out a little bit more there. So this is a really fun rig. I'm really, thanks, huge shout out to Claire Swift. Beautiful rig. I will link to the channel if you guys want more information on this rig. And let's take a look back at where we started. We were looking at the beautiful work of Jason Chan, and he said, my personal work is usually jump-started by something, either an emotion or an idea, but I tend to play it out beyond what I really feel, just for a stronger effect. Sometimes the emotion in my work is not really something I'm feeling, but just something I want the viewer to feel. So remember to keep that in mind of the people who are going to be seeing your work, and the emotional impact, or just the impact that you want to come across to people that are interacting with your work, and hopefully that something sticks with them and they'll remember you going forward. And that being said, thanks again for all the likes and subscribes. You guys are amazing and wonderful. Remember, if you're watching this, you guys are the creative future, so go out and create something new today. And thanks again to Claire Swift, huge shout out. And if you guys have rigs that you want to see featured here at Animation Time, feel free to shoot me a message, or anything that you guys want me to help publicize, or give you some encouragement or some feedback on. Just let me know down in the comments below. And I think that'll do it for today. Like I said, a bit of a longer one, but I think it was a fun one, and I definitely had a good time hanging out with you guys like usual tonight, and we'll see you for some more animation tomorrow.